Hi, my name is Andy and welcome to my sacred space. Today we're going to be doing a pick a card reading. I thought I was going to be focusing primarily on spiritual diversity, what sets us apart, and it quickly became our karmic burden, which is closely associated with our spiritual diversity and what sets us apart. Because our gifts lie in the karmic burden and the ancestral karma that we have. And so this reading is going to be focused on both, however the title will read. What is your karmic burden? Hopefully this will help you understand your situations, your life, certain cycles and patterns that much better. So relax and tune into the cards. In the first set, we have Whirling Goddess. And in the second, we have the Lover and the Beloved. And in the third, we have Sacred Soul Sister. One may call you more than the other, and that's totally okay. The one that is drawing you most, is going to be the dominant reading, and any other one that's calling you is going to be secondary to that one. Alright? Everything will be timestamped and there'll be chapters set aside for this. You can check the description box for any information that you may want to know or need to know. Let's get into it. Group number 1, the Whirling Goddess. Your karmic burden, the Whirling Goddess. Come, my love. Are you dizzy yet? If you can still find your feet, then that's okay with me, but if you can still find your head, then I will take issue. There is a great dance, but it cannot be danced with choreographed steps. No, this great dance demands a response rather than an initiation, a reaction rather than a direction. So let us disassemble and lose our heads to the great music. The rhythm held steadily in our beating hearts. Our feet shall be moving, whilst our mind, inadequate to the task, takes the night off. Group 1, I strongly feel that your burden is strongly associated with your intellectual nature, your over-analytical nature. There's something about getting in my own way. Where does that come into play? The survival instinct, right? Our greatest, sometimes our greatest negative patterns can become our superpower when we understand ourselves. And so this mental strength, which really does feel like a strength, is being used against us, or being used in a way that is painful to us. This definitely feels ancestral, you guys. Definitely. Very much picking up black sheep energy, black sheep pain, frequency. It's very little heart here. We have the 10 of Cups in the reverse, the 8 of Swords, the 10 of Wands in the reverse, and the 7 of Wands. No major arcana. So this feels like being caught up in the small things, the little things that add up. Your karmic burden and also your uniqueness has to do with the strength of your mind, right? But what happens when we let that go and we allow our divine feminine to grow within us, to meet us at the task. I feel like your karmic burden has a lot to do with family problems, family drama, family issues, being isolated, knowing more. It's almost like, you know, seeing too much, knowing too much that won't allow you to play the same game that maybe others play. Others in your family. Something sets you apart, and my heart is constantly driven to this Eight of Swords energy. Something that makes us feel like we don't exactly belong or fit. And that's a burden in its own right. Everywhere you go, you feel like there's something about you that's strange, that you can't shake. There's something about this group one, where you desperately want to assimilate, not because you want to be like others, but because you want to feel what it feels like to be received. But your karmic burden is that you don't receive yourself. There's an issue here. You're not at peace, right? Another card or another character in this position would feel freed because they're no longer obliged to the same energies. They are allowed this space to contemplate and to discover themselves without the pressure and expectation of others. But there's something that feels wrong about this. There's something about your karmic burden being a very lonesome, alone energy that is very riled up in the mind. And it's because you're not meant to, you know, group one, I feel like you guys would be in a situation, or you'd be in situations where you couldn't hold a job for a very long time. You couldn't stay in one group or place or setting. You couldn't keep the same friends, the same situations going. It just feels like you aren't able to hold what other people hold, and you feel wrong for it. This is your burden. Burden is just a perspective, right? It's how you look at it. And it feels like the way you look at it, group one. It's like, it feels like, why can't I just do this thing? You're constantly feeling like you're having to fight, having to climb uphill. There's a musical called The Last 5 Years. And there's this song that is like, the melody is playing in my head. All I can hear is one set of lines. And a gay midget named Carl playing Tevye and Porgy. Na, 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 na. Essentially, the meaning of the song is this kind of relentless, like, I keep throwing myself at this wall and nothing is happening, nothing is changing. It's because you're throwing yourself into the wrong thing, or not even that. It's like the perspective that you have and what you're chasing is so much cheaper than what you actually have inside, and what's been what I'm hearing is fortified inside. Your karmic burden is that you feel this desire and this impulse to want to achieve in the same lanes as others, to be able to have that stability in that job in the same way they do, but that's not for you. It's not who you are. It's not what makes you tick. It's not where your uniqueness lies. Yeah, we have a chip on our shoulder, group one, from being the black sheep. Many of you guys have had a karmic burden of feeling like, feeling like you're the only one who really is able to see clearly and in high definition the bullshit that you came from, while other people don't want to see it. Other people are afraid to see it. Other people are afraid to even insinuate that there was anything wrong with it. Some people are still cast under that heavy spell of programming. Well, you are not, but this upsets you because it also puts you in a position where you can't pretend. You can't fake the funk. Let's go into the clarification cards and go deeper, darlings. Two of Wands. The Devil card in the reverse. The Wheel of Fortune. Okay, major arcana come through with the Devil and the Wheel of Fortune. Two of Cups. And the Ace of Wands. What card do you want to read first, Spirit? The Devil card in the reverse. I feel this energy of being in the in-between. You're not quite free. You may be removed from something, but you're not quite free. Your karmic burden is that nobody chooses you, nobody prioritizes you, nobody makes you feel important. You don't feel like anybody can claim you. The karmic burden is feeling like you don't belong anywhere, but this is a burden for a reason. You are set aside, given an opportunity to learn who you are, to shed yourself of the false skins that have been placed upon you so that you can find your true tribe. And that time will come. In fact, I feel like the time is coming now with this Wheel of Fortune card. The Two of Wands is talking about like where it's kind of this energy of like questioning, like, well, what should I be doing? What should I be placing my time and energy into? Where do I go with this? What do I do with this? He's wearing some kind of lab coat that's bringing some stuff up. It's experimenting. Yeah, you're throwing things up at the wall and you don't feel like you're getting anywhere, but are you paying attention to the experiment? You've invested in so many people, places, and things. Have you learned anything in that? Because all of that's going to serve you in where you're going. The world is literally in your hands. I've been eager to go to this Wheel of Fortune, so let's go. The Wheel of Fortune talks about alignment. I'm also talking about astrological alignment is what I'm hearing. There's something about where it sits for some of you guys. You're approaching your Saturn return, or there's some kind of important astrological alignment here for you. It's making it possible for you to experience the other side of the coin of what you've experienced. And you'll realize that what you envied, the grass that you once thought was greener, was not even grass. Ooh. And when you actually achieve and have earned through your hard work, through your self-work, through your introspection, through your, I'm hearing therapy for some of you, like you guys are evolving and have evolved to meet this time. You may be growing wary, but your karmic burden has been to walk alone, to be set aside, to be cast aside, to be seen with no value, and to be cast away or to be discarded. Wise to activate and bring to the surface in you your true worth and what you know about yourself beyond how the material world and those living in it treated you or have treated or treat you. the Two of Cups. This is about developing a level of trust with people, the right people, to the point where you can relax. You're not in your head so much. You're not thinking. You're not calculating, like thinking about all the ways in which you're going to get screwed or spiritually attacked or whatever. This is also about a Kundalini awakening and the divine feminine masculine balance here. The Ace of Wands is essentially I was going to say the E word. I think you guys know what I mean. This is the divine masculines happy to see you. This is your divine antenna being turned on. This is your knowing, your clear sentience is what I'm hearing. You will know. You will know. What's for you will not pass you by. You will know. Group 1, your burden is so rooted in your survival. Like, what happens when you get cast aside? You're told something's wrong with you. You're told you're a burden. You're told, you know, that you make things difficult. There's a part of you, your inner child, that feels supremely unsafe. And this started at the beginning. The Ten of Cups in the reverse is about childhood to me. It's about what you're used to familial-wise. It's about divorce, separation. It's about selfishness. It's about the self versus the whole family. Right? These two people are focused on themselves, while these people are in the water, cold, almost colorless. Group 1, your burden is so associated with the path of walking alone. And that is soon to be over. You will find people, you will find these connections that mean something more than anything you've ever touched or felt. Some of you guys have had these connections online and you haven't been able to find them in real life. You will. You will. You resonate with readers. You resonate with spiritualists online. The Group 1, you really love the analytical, philosophical side of spirituality. It turns you on more than no other. Like, it's the thing that really gets you going. It's what bakes your beans. You love to have those deep conversations. You love to chew on things. You love to challenge people. You love to have those kinds of discussions, but you've learned how to essentially numb yourself to survive the path of walking alone and the mistreatment. You've been treated essentially like a leper underneath the surface. People treated you like you were nobody and discarded you so easily, pulled you in and pushed you away. This is something that you're going to have to evolve through. Otherwise, you're going to find it very difficult to trust. This is your burden, but it's also your gift. Why? Because it allowed you not to settle. It allowed you to remain on the train that was bringing you here, rather than getting off and settling somewhere that was a much lesser destination than what was set for you. God bless you, Group 1. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and do all the things you do when you appreciate content and you resonate, and drop a comment. Let me know how you feel. All right, moving on. Hello, Group 2. Your main oracle card and your main Rumi card is the Lover and the Beloved. When you move beyond consciousness, you caress the beloved. When you move into the unknown, beyond everything, the beloved caresses you. It is not enough to love me. I want you to allow me to love you. It is not enough to desire me, to want to be closer to me. I want to reach out to you and grab a hold of you, drawing you into me and never letting you be apart from me again. There is so much more for us to experience, you and me, than simply gazing, even with love, at each other from a distance. Let me take you into my arms. Let me hold you until we cease to know or care where you and I once were, you and I, for instead we will be one. Will you allow it? Will you allow me? Will you allow us to be? Whew, I felt a lot of feels in that one. A lot of feels. Group 2, you guys are all about the feels. Let's go with our first set of cards here. The 6 of Cups, the Ace of Coins, the 2 of Cups, the 3 of Swords, and the 10 of Swords. Okay. Okay. You guys love hard. You guys love hard, and you see the value in everyone. Your karmic burden is that you love so deeply that you get lost in every person that you come across, almost completely polarized to group 1. You guys love so hard. And your neighbors, you guys are easily fooled with, is what I'm hearing. And that's not something to be ashamed of. But it's like, this is the result of what happens when we don't love ourselves enough. That we overcompensate by loving others and not seeing the darkness in them. For some reason, I'm looking at that young lady at the top. And you're at the bottom. The young lady has a dark energy with her. And that crow. I'm not saying all crows are dark, but that's how I'm reading this card right now. She's even looking like she has something else in store when she gives you this, like this gift is tainted. And she may not even know it, you know? She may not know it. The 2 of Cups here, it's talking about this divine impulse to want to take the other in, want to be close with another, right? Whether this is a same-sex situation, which kind of gives me the energy of like it doesn't have to be romantic. Not saying that it's not. It may very well be. But it's this energy of like wanting to break bread with everyone, and not everyone can. And it's not that you should or shouldn't. It's like not everyone can. Not everyone wants, not everyone has the same intention to break the bread as you. Your karmic burden is this naivety. And something that I feel, group 2, you've come to really be stressed about within yourself. I hope you don't see it as anything but a gift. It's something that will be tempered. Because then it leads us to develop this victimized mentality. The Ace of Coins in the upright is also representative of this gift, right? But it's also where you are able to see the value in the very thing that is in front of you, and thinking almost like group 2, your karmic burden is like every interesting thing that comes across your path, you are able to convince yourself that this is the gift from the divine. And the divine is saying, like, if you can have discernment and stop sort of just allowing yourself to kind of be victim to the currents, or not victim, that's not the right word, but just be a product of the currents, like be a bag in the wind. If you can learn how to have a little bit more discernment, that is your karmic burden, to be honest. So don't feel like you're doing anything wrong because you haven't figured that out yet. It's something that you're figuring out, not just for yourself, but your bloodline. As you work through it, as you develop the lessons and the wisdom through experiences, through learning, and through choosing, you will find yourself in a place where you stabilize something that has been very difficult to stabilize in your bloodline or ancestry, or even your past life lineage. And where does this lead us, though? This leads us to a place of victimization where we can see the betrayal. We're literally looking at the betrayal, and then we're cutting our own wings. We're clipping our own wings because we're like, what's the point? I'm always getting hurt. Why should I even try? Something about like walking into situations where you're constantly being hurt, or like finding yourself in situations where you're constantly being hurt and then being confused because you're like, why, universe? Why did you do this to me? Why? And the universe is saying like, it's not us. It's not us. It's you, and it's okay. We never told you to step into this relationship. We never told you to trust these people. We never said that these people were your people. We never told you anything. Like we're not going to guide your life, right? But where you naturally move to, it's like whatever's in front of you, there's always a way. And honestly, it feels like that comes from like an upbringing, or like a trauma from an upbringing where you idolize your parents, and it brings you to a place where you're so overwhelmed with anxiety and pain from the past that it's like it's very difficult for you to find clarity and grounding in life. This is your burden. But how has this served you? It served you because it's allowing you to really fortify what it means to walk and live with an open heart. You have an open heart. All of these cup cards are in the upright position. You have an open heart, and you're willing to take opportunities and to see them for what they are. But can you see the opportunities, see the worth, and then decline anyway? Can you tell the difference between, just because you can see the God in someone, just because you can see the divinity, does not mean that it's a worthwhile thing for you. You are not a slave for the divine or for spirit. You're your own sovereign being. And you work very hard for the people that you love. You work very hard for the people that you... I'm feeling Taurus energy here. Somebody here might be a Taurus or a Capricorn, a Virgo, Earth sign energy, big time. Right? But where is it that you don't feel... Just because you can see the divinity in someone and know that someone has something going for them does not mean that you need to assign yourself as their protector, their healer, their everything. And it's not meant like that you need to do it for them. Where is it that you're burdening yourself with the burdens of others where they're not burdening themselves? And where is it that you're afraid to see superiority? People don't like to talk about this, but there is a hierarchy in spirit. And it doesn't mean that people are inherently better than others, but when people discover themselves and show up in the world as those versions of the self, there is an order, there is a hierarchy. And so yes, you do sit highly above many of the individuals of whom you can see their worth. You sit above them. You have earned a spot on this horse. This horse is actually you mastering your karmic ancestral burdens. And that horse, that physical, that beast, is carrying you in life. And it sets you above others. Why does it look like the horse is crying? Tears of joy. It's finally, like, the ancestors are like, yes. Aren't you tired of, like, going through the same situation over and over again, putting your heart into every single one? This pastry chef has put her heart into every single one of these fucking cupcakes. Everyone represents a situation that left you heartbroken in the same way. But yet you give your all to every single one after another. Leaving you feeling powerless. Why? Because you feel like your worth is tied up in these people. And Spirit is saying, like, this is starting to become a little bit similar to the first reading, in the sense of, like, you have a different relationship, and karma has to do with people, right? So that makes sense. You have a different relationship to people. Leo energy showing up on the board, but the moral here and the real takeaway is that you are not here to be anybody's slave. Spiritual healer, slave, whatever. You're not here to awaken everybody through your slavery. You're here to awaken them through example, right? Your hands are tied because they don't want to receive you. And so what do you do when they don't want to receive you? You make yourself wrong for it. You torture yourself. You come in and out, up and down, and play along in their game of hot and cold. You become a bag in the wind. This is a karmic burden that you are evolving from and maturing through. And the strength card is you being able to master that impulse to want to serve and nurture at the expense of yourself. This is not who you are anymore. This is who you are. You can still love the beast, but you can't control it. You may be able to tame it, but you can't pull its strings like a puppet. And there's something about you wanting to control those in your life that you know need a little bit of structure and control, but if they can't assert it, then you have to leave it, because otherwise you end up here. Otherwise you end up punishing yourself and making yourself wrong for it. Otherwise you find yourself in a very shitty situation. Stressed out, anxious, lacking trust. And then here we go again, back on the wheel, putting ourselves at it and putting our hearts into it yet again. It's like, where do we apply ourselves? Who deserves it? Group 2, you have bleeding hearts. God bless you, because it allowed you to, believe it or not, the people that you think haven't learned from you, they really have. Spirit is saying they really, really have. They're thinking back to everything they've ever done to you, and they have a lot of guilt for that, whether they admit it or not. Sometimes they may even work hard to justify themselves so that they can shake themselves free of whatever guilt they are feeling. Whatever bakes their beans, whatever freaking works for them. But what works for you? What do you need? It's not a one-way street, and all your relationships have been that way. Your karmic burden has been riddled, a past riddled with you throwing yourselves into relationships with individuals who don't care to serve you in the way you serve them, who want to take from you, consciously or unconsciously. I'm not trying to gaslight an aspect of your victimized frequency. I'm trying to, Spirit is using me and utilizing me to wake up and to speak to the aspect of you that's ready to mature, that's ready to walk with an open heart, but to know what you're playing with. The reason that the Strength card is so important, and the reason that she has such an amazing gift with the lion, is because she knows that it's a lion. She doesn't try to make him something different than who he is. She sees the divinity in his eyes, but she knows that there's also a monster in there. She knows how to interact with him, and she knows exactly who he is. She doesn't try to make him more or less than what he is. And that is the essence of strength. God bless you, Group 2. That is your karmic burden and soon-to-be gift. Don't forget to subscribe, click the bell icon, do all the things you do when you appreciate content, and drop me a comment. Let me know how this resonated with you, Group 2. Hello, Group 3. Your card from the Rumi Oracle deck is Sacred Soul Sister. When you are conscious, a cloud of sadness surrounds you. When you are beyond consciousness, the moon rests in your arms. When you are conscious, the beloved moves out of your reach. When you are beyond consciousness, The ecstasy of love moves your way. When you are conscious, you are depressed like fall. When you are beyond conscious, the winter cold feels like spring. All of your wavering is due to your longing to be stable. Look for instability until you become stable. Interesting. I love you. I am your other self. I am with you always, your partner on this soul journey. I am the you that you will not see. I am the you that speaks through intuition and instinct. I whisper and sing and shout my crazed truth, telling you through dreams, through your body. I am the you that is wise, that trusts in life, that knows. I am the you that sees reality rather than appearance. I am the you that knows how to be happy and free. Group 3, I deeply feel that this is greatly associated with this kind of like fall and rise, this karmic burden that you've experienced in this life so far, which is just your karmic, I guess you could say, what's on your karmic plate. Your karmic assignment has very much so been rooted in this up and down, side to side, hot and cold energy, this rise and fall, this feeling of going through depressions and then being spiritually lit and then feeling like you're lost and submerged in darkness and then spiritually lit and then up and down and up and down. This inability to communicate ourselves effectively or even find the truth, to get straight in our minds, to have a plan, right? Things just fall apart. Being brought to the Knight of Swords first. It's in the reverse for a reason. This feeling of like, I'm not able to get my thoughts across. I'm not able to get my word where it needs to go. I'm not able to take what's inside and put it outside effectively. There's this feeling of like, I can't quite put it together. I can't quite see. It's almost like you're trying to read a book, but your eyes are blurry. You can't get the words. That's very interesting. The Page of Wands is like, I'm a student of spirit. I'm a student of my gifts. Like group 3, you really have put your energy, time, and focus into learning your gift, skills, and abilities. You've really put yourself to the task. And you love to do so. But there's still something frustrating here. Like I can't make it. I can't get it. I don't see it. I don't see how I fit into this. What makes me different? What makes me special? You came to the right reader and you came to the right reading because I'm about to tell you. Your karmic burden has been literally this. Being blind to yourself, because if you knew who you were, if you knew what you were capable of, you would have sabotaged it. And not only that, you would have found yourself in spaces and places that would have tainted, tarnished, corrupted you. I know that's a little bit dark, but listen, it is what it is. You weren't supposed to know who you were or what you could do. There's a reason that it's not clear to you right now. That's a burden for a reason. You earn it. And it's not because you're not deserving of it now. It's just simply because you're not ready. But you will be. You may not be able to run with the idea, but you're able to run with the impulse. You may not be given the full, I'm hearing, dossier or the full package of understanding. Like, just because other people have a clearly defined idea of what it is that they're building does not mean you need to. And so run wild with your hairy ass legs, Group 3. Do it. That's what you're here for. You have wings. You have fucking wings. You can fly. And look at that same lamb over here. Look at the same lamb over here. It's the same little girl. It's the same little girl. And that same lamb. How cool is that? You may not be able to get it all out clear. You may not be able to fully take actionable steps yet, or you may not be clear on where you're going or what you're doing with it. Group 3, you're very focused on your stability, right? When I read the book, there was a part of it that was talking about like you yearn to be stable, right? You will be, but right now, this is the space and the place that is going to fortify you. And there's something being manifested here. Let's go deeper. Justice. Justice. The Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. The High Priestess in the reverse. Yeah, you're not supposed to see it yet. All swords. The Two of Swords in the reverse, the King of Swords in the reverse, and the Ten of Swords. Like, there's something about your mind that's being covered and protected. Like you're saying, like there's something that's not quite coherent about you, Group 3, when it comes to your analytical mind. It's how it should be. Like you're wondering, why can't I be clear? Why can't I be focused? Why can't I focus on this one thing? Why can't I get this idea out on paper? Why can't I execute on this thing? Because something is cooking. Something is cooking here. Why would we have you go off doing that other thing when this thing is cooking? Why would we have you order food when you have a wonderful meal being baked in the oven right now? And I have a feeling it's coming soon. I have a feeling that it's starting to come into focus. And all of these cards will be turned right side up. This is just a not ready thing. I'm hearing like the sound of when like a toaster's done and the bread pops up. The Justice card is here. And she's pointing at her heart and she's measuring, right? As most do in the Justice card. But this is an energy of you really learning and understanding on a heart level, not on an analytical level, what it means to be light of your heart. Because what it is that you're about to do is going to require you to have a certain edification. And that is exactly what has been occurring behind your back. This is the energy of like a whole ass castle was being built behind your back. While you were over here worrying about what you're supposed to do, you were already understanding, knowing the assignment and accomplishing it. Group 3, your burden has to do with your blindness and your walking in faith, which brings me to the Two of Swords in the reverse. This is why you've been blinded. This is why you can't see. You're unclear of which way to go. It's a burden, but it's also a gift. It's reserving you is what I'm hearing. You're being reserved for something unique. The King of Swords in the reverse is talking about, and this energy is really giving me this this masculine kind of like almost like a, why do I feel like it's a person in your head? It's like you have this they're saying like your inability to take actionable plans to claim your life, to like you feel so much shame about this, and Spirit is saying like we've literally just been reserving you. It's like, yeah, you can complain because you see other people getting seated, but you're getting the best seat in the house. because you're going to do something with it. It's like the gift is not ready yet. The Pentacles is in the reverse because the gift is not ready yet. It's being prepared for you. And you're being edified during it. Your burden is patience. The High Priestess in the reverse is like, you're still learning. She's still a student. You can't go to the Academy of High Priestesses and take a student because all the other ones are busy. Right now you're learning, you're in your book. Right now you're edifying yourself. Right now it's a process. I know the last thing that you want to hear on YouTube in a pick a card reading is that you're going to have to wait. But you're going to have to wait, Group 3. You're going to have to wait. And it's going to be worth it because you're being reserved for something. You are reserved. God bless. And thank you for stopping in to my sacred space. Make sure that you subscribe, comment, do all the things you do when you appreciate content. And well, really leave me a comment. Let me know how you resonate, okay? This is kind of a new format for me. So I'm interested to hear what you guys think. God bless. And I'll see you guys in the next video.